What are some of the key things that you feel need to be addressed in your district, sir?
Absolutely. You know, this district is huge. It's 29 counties. It goes from San Antonio down to Eagle Pass and all the way west to El Paso, 820 miles of the border. One of the big issues that we deal with is, in this area is border security, and it's making sure we can secure our borders and facilitate the movement of goods and services at the same time. Eagle Pass is an important part of our commerce with Mexico. We need to make sure that people, goods, and services are going back and forth at the same time, and that's issue. Jobs in the economy, of course, are always an issue. And we need to be making sure that we're doing everything we can to have a strong economy and keep the job growth. Energy sector is doing that with the Eagle Hurd in this region. That's having an impact on our community, and we need to do that. We need to make sure that it's in a positive way as well, and also national security with the threat of ISIS, Iran, things like that. We need to make sure that we have a strong national security.
I understand one of the big issues going on right now is the funding for Homeland Security, sir. What are some of your thoughts? I know that you have a big-time CIA background.
Absolutely.
What are some of your thoughts on that issue at hand?
Well, I spent 9 years as an undercover officer in the CIA. Protecting our homeland is one of the most important things that we can do. We recently passed a legislation that funded DHS, Department of Homeland Security, through the rest of the year, and I'm one of the people that actually voted for that, and it got signed in by the president. So DHS is going to be funded for the remainder of this fiscal year. Look, we can secure our borders, enforce our laws, and facilitate the movement of goods and services. I'd like to see, Eagle Pass, the amount of back and forth through the border grow to like it is in Laredo. And we can do that. And we, like I said, we can protect our borders and facilitate that movement. And there's things that doing pre-clearance on the Mexico side so that things come through our border quickly. These are just a few of the examples of things that we can do to make sure that we're facilitating international commerce and protecting our border at the same time. One thing that I know I talked about a lot when I was campaigning, and I've had the chance to talk with Border Patrol, that internal checkpoint here, when on Fridays and Sundays, it takes a long time to go through it. And I've talked with Border Patrol about doing a review to figure out ways that we can streamline that and get more traffic going through there so it doesn't take, an hour or more to get through there in the evenings, on the weekends. And so I know that's a project that's unique here to Eagle Pass. But it's my job, working with the federal, all the agencies in the federal government to make sure that they're doing their job and protecting us, but that it's not having an untoward impact on the community.
Some of your thoughts on the energy sector, especially in the increased activity in the region due to the Eagle Ford.
The energy sector is important to Texas. It's important to the United States, and I want to see that continue. And my district, I represent about a third of the Eagle Ford and about half of the Permian Basin. So this industry is super important. But you're right, the impact this is having on the roads, the number of heavy trucks, and the movement the travel back and forth through these areas. And one of the things that I think Texas, the state, is doing some interesting things in making sure that some of the tax funds that the state generates is going towards roads, and that we're not taking out of that fund. But also one thing that I can do in Washington, D.C. is we're going to be passing a transportation bill. This is something that is important, and making sure that the amount of federal taxes that Texans pay, we need to make sure, for transportation, we need to make sure those dollars are coming back to Texas. And that is, there's unanimous support within the Texas delegation to make that happen. And then also when this transportation bill gets funded, we make sure that communities like Eagle Pass, that our roads in these areas are taken care of. I believe in all of the above energy strategy. It includes coal, it includes wind, it includes solar, it includes natural gas. And as long as it's being done in a way to protect the environment, I think these are all things that are good for our community and good for us going forward.
What are your thoughts on the importance of the internet and cybersecurity as cyber attacks are more common in the United States?
Absolutely. So, when I left the CIA, I helped start a cybersecurity company, and being a chairperson of a subcommittee. It's a big deal, especially as a freshman. It's great for District 23 because we have a seat at the table, and everybody's been impacted by some kind of data breach. You know, whether you've had to get a new credit card sent back, whether, you know, your personal information has been stolen and used. You know, this is the number of people that are attacking us is increasing, and they're getting more complex. And one of the best things that we can be doing is in the area of information sharing. If the federal government has information on cyber attacks and hackers or cyber criminals, we should be sharing information as much and as quickly as we can with the private sector for the private sector to protect themselves. And I'm in a position to do something about this, and it's exciting to be there, and it's great for the residents of this district.